Red Sox get ready to take on the Cleveland Guardians, so we have a ton of news, notes, concerning injury news that we're going to talk about in today's video. But before we do that, go follow me on Twitter because you're going to get the news first over on Twitter. I also live tweet all the games. I tweet out highlights as well. I tweet out and let you know everything you need to know if you miss the game. My Twitter is at @JackLotteray. I will leave it down in the comments and description of today's video, and I'm going to make a deal with you. The next 10 people to give me a follow, I will shout out on tomorrow's episode. So make sure you give me a follow for the best, most updated coverage around the Boston Red Sox. Welcome back into another edition of the Red Sox Rundown. I am your host, Jack Lotteray. Thank you so much for watching. We've got a Wilyer Abreu update. We've got the full details on Aroldis Chapman's extension, Kyle Harrison watch, and some other news as well. Let's start with Wilyer Abreu. Alex Cora gave sort of a not very convincing, kind of concerning update on Wilyer Abreu. Here's what he had to say. He said, "We'll know more tomorrow." This was yesterday, so we'll know more today. Slower than what we expected. No crap. He's been able to hit and move around offensively, but he hasn't been able to run. So are we concerned? Yes and no. He'll be back at one point, but I think it's been longer than expected. It's definitely been longer than expected. When the injury initially happened, it was like, oh, he'll be out for like 2 or 3 days, and now it's been upwards of weeks at this point. And this is what the Red Sox do. Like, an injury will happen, and then Cora will say, oh, it'll be a few days. We will see him back in the next series, blah, blah, blah. And then they're out for like weeks. So I don't love that about Cora, and I don't know if that's really his fault. It might be the fault of the trainers or the athletic department saying, hey, like, we don't know. But yeah, this is absolutely something to be concerned about. Your best lineup that you can have for the playoffs features Wilyer Abreu. And if he is continuing to get slower and slower and slower on his rehab, and he hasn't even run yet, and that's an issue, I don't know how to feel. Now, what I don't want to do is them to rush him, and it seems like they haven't. So that's a good thing. I'd rather have him in the tail end of September into October. But nonetheless, the fact that a 2-3 day injury has turned into a multi-week injury is definitely something to be concerned about, and something that I am definitely keeping my eye on. You let me know. Are you worried about Wilyer Abreu? Type W if you're worried, or R if you are relaxed. Let me know. I'm at least a little bit worried. He said he'll be back at one point, but it's been longer than we've expected. And again, we all expected 2-3 days, and it's turned into a few weeks. So I'm at least a little concerned, but I don't want to rush him as well. So W for worried, R for relaxed. You let me know down below in the comments. Let's talk about Aroldis Chapman. This happened a few days ago now. Aroldis Chapman signed an extension with the Red Sox, which was a huge news. It was really a great news. I did a short on it, broke it all down. We have all the numbers via Alex Spear that these came in late yesterday that we're going to break down here real quick. So everything you need to know about the Aroldis Chapman extension, Alex Spear has for you, and here it is. So he gets a $1 million bonus. It's really nice. I'd love to get a $1 million bonus. His 2026 salary is $12 million. And he has a $13 million option for 2027 that vests with 40 innings if he's healthy at the end of 2026. If that option does not vest, there is a mutual option at $13 million with a $300,000 buyout. Here's even more. The 2027 option salary can escalate up to $1 million for a top 10 finish in 2026 Reliever of the Year voting. So we have the first impact of the new Reliever of the Year voting, types Alex Spear. If he finishes first, it goes up $1 million. So, and then there are other incentives down to $100K for 6th through 10th. So yeah, that's a salary bump that Chapman deserves. Tyler Milliken had that. It's kind of like the deal that Kirby Yates got last year, around that same kind of value, and I'm totally okay with that. Yes, Chapman is, I believe, 37 years old at this point. By the time, if 2027 is over, he'll be almost 40 years old, but at the age of 37, he's still pumping 100 plus miles an hour, and he's had what many are going to say is the best year of his entire career. Whatever the Red Sox pitching lab has done to change him, get him to not be walking people and all of the above, has been nothing short of miraculous. When the signing happened, everyone, including myself, was like, this is not a good signing. Chapman can't hit the broadside of a barn. This is going to be not a good deal. But we're all eating crow, and now we're excited that they extended him for 2 more years. So that right there is a testament to the pitching lab and to Andrew Bailey. So hats off to him, and hats off to Aroldis Chapman, who gets a much-deserved extension for the next 2 years. Are we on Kyle Harrison watch? I think we are. There were reports that were coming out that the Red Sox are probably not going to have Peyton Tolley pitch on Wednesday for his next slated start because he is not used to the every 5-day schedule yet, and they want to get him more amped up and ready to go. So Kyle Harrison might be the move. Here's what Chris Hatfield, who covers a lot of the minor league stuff, had to say yesterday. He said, Kyle Harrison was originally set to pitch today. Now he is not. With the report, the Red Sox want to keep Tolley on at least 5 days rest. They would need 1 spot start each of the next 2 weeks. This might mean Harrison gets a start against Cleveland. It's very interesting to look at. The Red Sox have not had off days in a week in some change. So getting Kyle Harrison up here would be very interesting. I literally said in the video yesterday when I went on my rant about Dustin May, let's just see what Kyle Harrison has, because he's been in AAA the entire time since the Rafael Devers trade. They completely retooled his arsenal and all of the above. And I get it. A lot of the underlying metrics, they might not blow you out of the water, but let's just see what the kid's got. He's got big league experience already with the Giants, so I don't see why they are so against giving him the nod and seeing what happens. Again, it cannot be worse than what Dustin May has brought to the table. So you let me know, would you call up Kyle Harrison to the big league roster? Type Y for yes, type N for no. You let me know down below in the comments section. A few more quick notes. Welcome to September, and with September, that means that the rosters expand from 26 to 28 players. I'm recording this video at 10:23 p.m. Central Time on Sunday, August 31st. So if call-ups have already happened, I will make a short, but this, again, I'm doing this before September 1st. So just, if this is outdated, forgive me, there will be a short up on the channel with those roster moves. But Christopher Smith had a few notes on who would not be called up on September 1st. Kristian Campbell, according to Christopher Smith, will not be promoted by the Red Sox as a September 1st call-up, according to 2 sources. That doesn't mean he won't be promoted at some point in September as one of the extra 2 on the roster, but not right now. He also had a tweet about Abraham Toro. He said, I was also told it's not Toro because he's not eligible to return yet. So who is it? I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. Is this a bring back up Nick Sogard because he just got sent down yesterday, or Nate Eaton, one or the other? I forget off the top of my head. One of Nate Eaton or Nick Sogard, whoever got sent down yesterday or 2 days ago, or Stinson Garcia. Maybe he's the option. I'm not really sure. It's going to be interesting to see who that position player is, because I think it's going to be a position player and a pitcher. I think Kyle Harrison makes a lot of sense now. If you're going to have 2 spot starts in the next 2 weeks, Kyle Harrison makes a lot of sense. But for the position player, I don't know. So you guys let me know who you think the Red Sox are going to call up. And again, if they have already called someone up by the time this video goes out, I will make a short on it momentarily. So don't shoot the messenger. I'm recording this beforehand. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, because when the Red Sox do make a move, I will make a video about it. I will make a short whenever these roster moves get made, and then we'll have a full video the next day recapping everything that happened, all the craziness from the day before. I also recap every single game so that you don't have to watch the game. I watch it so you don't have to, and I give you full-length videos every single day. That is my commitment to you guys. So join the family today. We are quickly approaching 5,500 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. Keep the momentum. The playoffs are coming, and when that happens, we will be live for the playoffs. So hit the subscribe button. Join us today. I would really appreciate it. You all are the best. Let's run through the game real quick. Not really a lot to talk about, just a few storylines. The Red Sox win 5-2. You survived. The Pirates, don't even get me started, but you won, which is great, and now you play Cleveland, and we'll see what happens. But Lucas Giolito shoved, and that's all that matters. He continues his hot streak of starts. 6 innings, only 3 hits, 5 walks. Don't love that, but 6 Ks and only 1 run. He's got his ERA down to 3.38 on the year, which is awesome. I'm concerned about Giolito's market this year, whether or not he opts out of his deal. I'm going to see, because I at this point I want Giolito back on my team. He's 10-2 this year. And I know the wins and losses in baseball don't really matter for pitchers, but 10-2 is pretty freaking crazy. I'm not going to lie. And then the rest of your bullpen kind of shoved too. Justin Slayton looked a little shaky. He gave up a run as well. But then Garrett Whitlock, was nails. He had some runners on, but he didn't give up any runs. And then Aroldis Chapman closed it out in the 9th, gets his 27th save of the year. Your pitching did what it needed to do, only gave up 2 runs. And really great to see. Lucas Giolito continues to be absolutely dominant. He continues to shove, and that is always good news. The offensive side, not a lot that happened. 8 hits, 9 Ks, 3 walks. Really, the biggest play of the day was the Jarren Duran inside the park home run. That was absolutely electric. Scored 3 runs on the play, which is really what turned the tide in this game. So he goes 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs, a run, and 2 walks. I mean, that's a great day for Duran, who has been struggling mightily recently. To have no strikeouts, no outs, 2 hits, 2 walks, that's a really great day at the plate for Duran. So I was really, really happy to see that. Nathaniel Lowe gets back from paternity leave. He's got the dad power, the dad strength. He goes 2 for 4 with a run. He also did have 2 strikeouts as well. Romy Gonzalez had a hit. Alex Bregman finally got a hit. It feels like he hasn't had a hit in 4 weeks. He got a hit. Who am I looking at? Rafaela had a hit. Narvaez had a hit. The other RBIs come from Roman Anthony and Ceddanne Rafaela. You lost the series to the Pirates. It's not great. I'm not going to talk about it. We're just going to move on. We're on to Cleveland at this point. Keep winning the games you need to win. You just got to win. You got to win, because the scores around the league, the standings, it's very, very tight. And we have a new player in the standings as well, with the Rangers making a late surge. Here's all the scores around the league that you need to know. The Rangers beat the A's 9-6. They are now the closest team in the wild card that is out of the wild card. They are now the first team out. The Yankees lost to the White Sox, which is hilarious, but can't really talk because you've lost 2 games to the Pirates. But Yankees lost to the White Sox, which is huge because now you're only a half game back. The Tigers beat the Royals. The Mariners beat the Guardians. The Blue Jays beat the Brewers. Would have loved to have made up a game in the division this weekend, but you didn't, and that's why it's just incredibly frustrating. And here's what the standings look like. You are currently 3.5 back on Toronto. Not great, and a half game back on New York. So you're 3rd in the division. But in the wild card, you are a half game back of New York from the top wildcard spot. You are 2.5 games up on Seattle, and then you're 5 games up on Texas from getting kicked out of the wild card. So you're still in a comfortable position. It's just, again, the importance of that first wild card spot. You need to pass the Yankees, and you need to start building a bit of a cushion, because losing 2 games to the Pirates is not good. You should have swept the series. And then this whole conversation would be completely different, but you didn't, and that's just the way it is. And now you're taking on a Guardians team who is 4 games back on the wild card. They're a game over 500. They're not great, but they're not bad either. So you need to, and they're coming to you at Fenway. So you need to finish this strong, and if you can do that, who does New York play next? They play Houston, at Houston. So you've got a potential to pass the Yankees again and then build some cushion. But you got to do it. You have to execute. Thankfully, you've got Bayo and Crochet on the mound for the first 2 games of the series. Wednesday, we don't know. So I feel good about it. The first 2 games, you can blame pitching, even though Peyton Tolley was great, but then your bullpen imploded, and then Dustin May looked horrible. You can blame pitching on those. But your offense didn't help you either. So win this series, because it's crucial that you retake the lead in that first wild card spot. You let me know. Predict the Red Sox record against the Guardians. I'm going to go 2 out of 3 because I just don't know who's pitching on Wednesday. So I'm going to go 2 out of 3, but you let me know. Predict the record down below in the comments. That's it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you all taking the time to watch the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you have not already. It really does mean the absolute world for you to take the time to watch the videos and join the family. And like I said, we're going to be live for every single playoff game when October comes around, and you're not going to want to miss that. It's a lot of fun. So make sure you subscribe, join the family. I appreciate you all. We'll see you in tomorrow's video, and until next time, go Sox.